Have you ever watched a giant passenger airplane thunder down the runway and thought, how is that thing even possible? It can weigh nearly 500 tons. Some, like the Airbus A380, can reach about 575 metric tons at takeoff. That is heavier than hundreds of cars. And yet, moments later, it is climbing into the sky. It feels impossible, but flight is not magic. It is physics working beautifully. To understand that, start with the basic struggle. Gravity is always pulling the airplane downward. In the simplest picture, there are four forces at work: weight pulling down, lift pushing up, thrust pushing forward, and drag pushing back. For an airplane to stay in the air, lift has to balance weight. That is the real challenge. Not defeating gravity, balancing it every second with moving air. So where does that upward force come from? The answer begins with the wings. They do not look like flat boards, because flat boards are terrible at flying. An airplane wing has a special curved shape called an airfoil. That shape matters because as the plane moves forward, air flows around the wing in a very specific way. The wing is not just cutting through the air, it is shaping the air. Here is the key idea. The air above the wing moves faster than the air below it. And faster moving air has lower pressure. Slower moving air has higher pressure. So above the wing, pressure drops. Below the wing, pressure stays higher. That difference creates an upward push called lift. A lot of a wing's lift comes from this lower pressure on top, almost like the air above the wing is helping pull it upward. And that is where the real secret lives. The wing is not using some trick of longer distance or equal timing. That popular idea is wrong. Instead, the wing is turning the flow of air. It guides air downward, and the reaction to that change shows up as an upward force on the airplane. In other words, the wing does not need magic. It needs moving air and the right shape to direct it. This is also why speed matters so much. Lift grows quickly as the airplane moves faster. In fact, speed is squared in the lift equation, which means if speed goes up, lift rises dramatically. Double the speed and you get roughly 4 times the lift. That is why airplanes need long runways. Before they can climb, they have to build enough airflow over the wings to generate enough lift to match their enormous weight. Pilots also have another tool: angle of attack. That is the wing's angle relative to the oncoming air. Change that angle, and you change how much lift the wing produces. During takeoff and landing, airplanes often use flaps and slats to increase lift even more, helping a heavy jet rise at a lower speed. It is a clever engineering advantage. The wing is constantly adapting. So when you see a jumbo jet leave the ground, what you are really seeing is balance. Gravity is pulling down. The engines are pushing the plane forward. And the wings are turning that forward motion into lift by shaping air pressure around them. The result is not a miracle. It's a perfect example of science in motion. Airplanes fly because their wings know how to work with the air, not against it. That is the answer, not magic. Physics. Subscribe for more science made simple.